Hey, welcome back to thedrinker.co.uk with me, Pete Turner, for another one of my roundup vids. These are my 6 picks from each of the major supermarkets in the UK in the winter of 2024 going into the spring of 2025. And in this vid, I'm looking at my wines from Tesco. Now, if you go to my website and click on the Tesco button, you'll see wines from all the different price ranges that I've recommended, that I really like when I go to their tastings. But in these vids, none of the wines will cost you more than £10. So what we've got is 2 reds, 2 whites, a rosé and a fizz. Tesco, as we know, are the country's largest wine retailer. So they have to get things right. If they put their name to it, like in the finest range, they're usually absolutely spot on. So they're pretty reliable right across the board, and they're pretty reliable in the sub £10 bracket. So these are my 6 picks, and we're starting off with this. This is Mount Rozier Merlot. It comes from South Africa. It's made by the Gab family, who are responsible for Journey's End wines. And the lovely thing about these guys is that they do loads and loads of community and environmental projects around their wines too. This is 650 and 11%, and you'll see an awful lot of new wines coming around 11%, and that's due to really daft tax regulations, but supermarkets have to fit their profits in, so you will notice more and more wines coming out at 11%. So this is Mount Rozier. It's Merlot, so it's pretty basic and straightforward. And at 650, that's what you'd expect. It's got a lovely primary red currant, raspberry, a little bit of strawberry, sort of red fruit. It's quite pale for a Merlot. And it's lovely. That fruit becomes a little bit more intense in the mouth. It's joined by some blackberry. There's a little bit of tannic structure to it, so it gives it a little bit of structure to hang on to. The acidity's right, the fruit's right, the tannin is right. It's really well put together, and for only $6.50, that's a super wine, and you're doing good stuff while you're there. There's a little QR code on the back you can scan. There's a little video, tells you all about their community projects. Really good stuff. So that's a nice little kick-off. And another one at $6.50. This is Upturned Shiraz Cabernet, comes from southeastern Australia. Again, $6.50, but this one's 13.5%. And again, quite pale for a Shiraz Cabernet. It's got a much more sort of deep and interesting and complex nose. It's really fruit driven again, but this time we're looking at black cherry, black currant. And there's also something, I want to say, almost spicy and herbal behind it. Maybe some cinnamon, maybe some chocolate even. And again, really well put together. All of the elements work in harmony with each other. The acidity is good, the fruit is good. There's that lovely chocolate note at the back, and I want to say mocha, spice, those kind of things, cinnamon. But at $6.50, that is a hell of a lot of wine for the money. 13.5% Upturned Shiraz Cabernet. Really interesting stuff. I mean, both of these wines are quite forward fruity and quite ripe and sweet. I wouldn't say sweet, but you'd notice a sweeter element. But they are very fashionable and they're very well priced. So 2 next from the finest range. This is Vinas Del Rey, Rueda Verdejo. Verdejo, extraordinarily fashionable these days. £7.50. Rueda, where it comes from in northern Spain. And it's a lovely light lemon blossom, maybe even grapefruit nose. And there's something herbal behind it, maybe some Mediterranean herbs. Yeah, and that's zippy and fresh, and that citrus really works well. And then that herbal thing, almost like bay leaf in the mouth. It's a beautiful, simple wine at $7.50. But a Verdejo, I think it looks really classy. I think it tastes great. And Verdejo is very fashionable. So, so well done to Tesco's for that. Excuse me. So next up, another one from the finest range. This is Chenin Blanc Torrontes. Comes from Mendoza in Argentina. It's made by Zuccardi. Again, another excellent winemaking family company. £9. Chenin Blanc and Torrontes, both really interesting, great varieties, and when they're blended together, work really well together. And there's a lot on the nose, so you're getting Yeah, you're getting peach and stone fruit, really apricot, peach, stone fruit. Maybe something nutty or waxy behind that. It's really interesting nose. And it becomes like almost like a tropical fruit explosion in the mouth. I'm thinking pineapple, mango and melon. And that little hint of waxy complexity behind it is still there. Really interesting wine. And £9, a little bit more expensive, but you really do notice the step up in quality. And Zuccardi really know what they're doing when it comes to making wine. So next up, I can't remember the name of this one, Paradisula. Paradisula, it's a rosé, it's £9. I'd pay £9 just for the bottle. I think it just looks super, super sexy. It comes from the Ile de Beaute, which is Corsica, and there's so much good wine coming out of Corsica right now. And I think it looks fab. And on the nose, you've got really lovely raspberry and red currant, as you'd expect. It's fresh and dry and light and pretty and elegant. Elegant is the word. And subtle. And wine doesn't always have to be in your face. This is subtle, easy drinking, beautiful. It's 11.5%. I think it looks fabulous. You could buy that as a present for someone. I just think it looks great. So there you go. That's Paradisula, Ile de Beaute. I'm probably pronouncing all this wrong, so I do apologise. And last of all, I might have to pause here because I haven't opened this one. Cordoniu's, what is it called? Herencia Cava. Cava really is back now. And Cordoniu are one of the great makers. Really, really good quality. This is £8. Cava dipped in popularity. It was really popular in the 90s. They made too much of it. The quality went down. We stopped buying it. We fell in love with Prosecco, but we're falling out of love with Prosecco now, and Cava's really back on the cards. And it's beautifully fresh. Really lovely light apple juice nose to it. Again, like this one. Elegant, subtle, refined. For £8, that's kind of world-class Cava for £8. Really good producer, really good stuff. Subtle apple, little hint of minerality, some quite high acidity, but you expect that with sparkling wines. But beautifully put together and really, really well made. So there you go, there's my 6 picks from Tesco. Get yourself down there because they are really, really spot on with what they do, particularly in the sub £10 bracket. But if you go to the website, click on my Tesco button, you'll see all my recommendations, all the prices. I think there's some wines on there that go right up to £35. Some really, really good stuff at the top end too in Tesco because they know what they're doing. So I'm Pete, I'm on the drinker.co.uk. Enjoy your wines. Let me know what you're drinking. Cheers.